Two of the big themes of this channel are mag and archery. Once again, we're going to be talking about both of them. So, we're talking about Lenz again. This is the second day in a row where I'm talking about Lenz. Cool, whatever. This time we're not going to be doing a safety video. This time we're actually going to be talking about damage. We're going to be talking about how you can increase the damage of your Lenz via gameplay. So, once again, let us surprise ourselves of the builds for the Lenz and mag, actually, because we're going to be talking about both. So once again, this is the Lenz build. This is Vile Acceleration, and we're using Lenz Visi Akriton with that extra critical damage and that extra damage, which makes it really, really powerful. Great, awesome. We're also going to be using the 5000 IQ Platinum Arrow build. This version of the Platinum Arrow build does not involve growing power, so that I can eliminate a variable that is, of course, growing power. Otherwise, we're using Arcane Energize and Barrier, and we're using Umbral Intensify, just one of them. And I am getting ready for the second Umbral Former that is coming soon with this particular season of Nightwave, so I'm pretty excited for that. Otherwise, let's get into some demonstrations and some explanations as to ways for increasing your Lenz explosion damage, because there are certain things that do work and certain things that don't. Okay, for this particular demonstration, we're going to be going up against a level 100 Corrupted Heavy Gunner, as opposed to a level 135. The only reason why is because I don't want the armor to be so high that our damage numbers become, you know, disappointing. So how much damage does this Lenz do at base? We do 2506 damage on a yellow crit. One more time. Cool. Now, what if we aim for the head? Because that always increases the damage of a weapon. So let's aim for the head. We still only do 2506 damage on the explosion, which we're only talking about. We're not caring about the arrow damage. One more time. There's that 2506 damage. We're not doing a lot of damage on a headshot. So that means that headshots don't affect the Lenz. Great, end of video. Except, no. That's not true. Headshots do affect the Lenz explosion, but you actually have to aim for the top of the head. And even then, sometimes it might not work, so it's rather difficult to get that headshot multiplier to apply. But if we aim like that, there's that 10,024 damage. One more time. 10,024 damage. So a headshot does actually affect the Lenz explosion, but you have to shoot the arrow in such a way on, like, basically the top of the head, the absolute top of the head, so that the explosion affects the head as opposed to what appears to be affecting the body. Does that make any sense? So that is one of the things that you need to keep an eye on with the Lenz. So one more time, that top of the head right there. Notice how my target reticle normally would miss, but we didn't miss because it is an explosive weapon. But we have to aim like that in order to get that headshot multiplier, so that we can get the head crit multiplier, which is how we get a 4 times multiplier on our critical hits for 10,000 damage. Let's have a look at another way of increasing our Lenz damage. Alright, this bit's going to be pretty quick. What we're going to be using instead of Point Strike is we're going to be using Argon Scope. This is just to demonstrate how Argon Scope works on Lenz, so that you remember and don't make this basic mistake that I did previously when I thought that Argon Scope just straight up didn't work on the Lenz. So, let's get into it. So, what we're going to be looking out for is a difference in the color of our numbers, because that obviously means differences in crit. So, again, when we shoot a normal arrow, we're going to be doing white numbers, which is totally uncritted numbers, and those numbers are going to be basically minuscule at 384. If we land a headshot, we get that 2506. But sometimes we don't actually get that 2506, so what happens is you need to make sure you continue to be scoped in order to get that 2506. The difference is when you stay scoped, you will always have critted damage. You will never have uncritted damage as long as you continue to have your scope. And you might even get some orange crits, because Argon Scope, the amount of crit chance that you get from Argon Scope is quite similar to the amount of crit chance you'll get from Point Strike. So if you didn't have my Riven, and you had that extra space, then it would make a lot of sense to use Argon Scope and Point Strike as well if you want. But that is another way to increase the damage of your lens. Now let's look at how Magnetized works, now that we have learned something about the headshot multiplier and how headshots work for the lens. Time for the mag portion of this video, my favorite part of the video as always. So, what we're going to be looking at is Magnetized. Now, Magnetized on this build has a damage multiplier of 3.18 times. That means any damage that goes in to the magnetic field will do 3.18 times extra damage. Now, does this affect the lens explosion? Let's have a look. So, let's grab out our test dummy. We're not going to grab 8 of them, we're just going to stick to 1 of them. That was from a previous shoot, but we won't worry about that. So here is our test dummy, and our explosion damage is going to be 14,718 damage on an orange crit. On a yellow crit, we are looking at 7,969 damage. Cool! That is 3 times, or 3.18 times, our original 2,506 damage. So remember, the build has not changed and the damage has not changed, so if we were to just shoot her like there, 2,506, the moment we use Magnetize, 7,969 damage. Now, does this also affect the headshot if we were able to land that weird headshot thing that I was talking about? Well, you can, and it's probably a little bit easier, but you need to aim in such a way that you can actually hit a headshot. And there's your headshot. 31,786 damage. One more time, hopefully this works. 61,313 damage on the orange crit. The level 100 Corrupted Heavy Gunner has just under 90,000 health, so that kind of damage is a lot of damage. Okay? Now, one thing to just keep in mind as we end this particular part of the video is that the damage increase only affects the initial target. I'm not 100% sure if this is the case with, say, Paris Prime. I'm going to have to do some more testing to figure that out. But if you quickly have a look, or if you pay attention to the numbers that we're about to be seeing on the screen, I'll actually come a little bit closer. You're going to see a lot of 2,506 damage, in which case that particular damage number is unaffected by Magnetized. As you see there, 2,506, and only one of those Corrupted Heavy Gunners are dead. You can even count it. There are only 7 Corrupted Heavy Gunners here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Corrupted Heavy Gunners, because only one of them took additional damage from Magnetized. This wouldn't be a mag video if we didn't strip all of their armor, so let's do that as well. Also, don't forget to check out the Lenz safety guide, as there is some other ideas that you need to keep an eye on when using the lens. Turns out this weapon is not as brain-dead easy as initially expected. Otherwise, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more WarFrame content, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye!